Good evening, everyone. This is January 2021 Unit 1 WCH11 of IEL Chemistry. In this session, I'll discuss MCQs. In the next session, I will discuss the structured questions related to this topic. The first question: which of these compounds has the same empirical and molecular formula? So C2H4, when we further simplify it will be CH2. So molecular and empirical formula will be different. C3H8, 3 and 8 cannot be further simplified. So that's why B is the right answer. Otherwise, this can be further simplified to 4 and 10 into 2 is to 5 and this is 1 is to 2. So only compound which is having same molecular and empirical formula which cannot be further simplified. So B is the right answer. There are 6 exponent 23 atoms in 0.25 moles. So basically 0.25 moles of this molecule or a substance. So mole to molecule, when we check for helium, like example if this substance was a helium mole and molecule means the ratio is 1 is to 1. So if we have 1 mole of helium, this will have 6 is to 10 power 23. So if we have 0.25 moles, then it will be quarter of that, means it will have 1.5 into 10 power 23. So it cannot be helium. What about hydrogen and oxygen, like the water molecule? H2O, the ratio between the molecule and the atom is 1 is to 3. So we have 6 exponent 23 atoms in 0.25 mole. So if we have 0.25 moles, because the ratio is 1 is to 3, so how many moles of atom will be there? The moles of atom will be 0.75. So 0.75 multiplied by 6 exponent 23, that will come out as 4.5 into 10 power 23. So it cannot be water. BH3, the ratio between molecule to atom is 1 is to 4. One molecule gives 4 atoms. So if we have 0.25 mole of this substance, how many moles of atom will be there? This will be multiplied, so we'll get 1 mole of atom. And 1 mole of atom will have 6.02 into 10 power 23. That's why C is the right answer. Which aqueous solution has the highest concentration? So to get the concentration, gram per dm cube, so we should get moles per dm cube. So this should be 0.1 divided by HCl, hydrogen is 1 and chlorine is 35.5. So this will be 36.5. So 0.1 divided by 36.5, which will give 0.00 0.0027. The moles, and 1 is to 1 is the ratio, so same is the concentration of chloride ions. For NaCl, it will be 0.1 divided by sodium is 23, chlorine is 35.5. So 0.1 divided by 58.5, that's equal to 0.0017. When potassium is 39 plus chlorine is 35.5. The total mass is 74, so this will be 0.1 divided by 74.5. This will be 0.0013 moles of chloride. Ratio is 1 is to 1. But for barium chloride, barium is 137 and plus chlorine 35.5 into 2, so it will be 71. So total mass is 208. So 0.1 divided by 208, that will be 0.000048. But the moles of the chloride should be twice, because 1 mole of barium chloride gives 2 moles of chloride. So actual mole of chloride will be 0.00096. So which one is having the highest concentration? A is having the highest concentration of chloride ions. Which convergent has the lowest percentage atom economy by mass? So this will be 100% because the only thing, the desired product is there. For this one, mass of a desired product, calcium is 40, chlorine is 35.5 into 2. So 71 plus 40, that's equal to 111. And total mass of the reactant, so or total mass of a product, 111 plus 2, so that will be 113. So 111 divided by 113 into 100, so this will be 98% economy. For calcium chloride, this is 111. The total mass of the reactant, so 111, or product 111 plus water is 18 plus carbon dioxide is 44. So total is 173 into 100. So 111 divided by 173 into 100, that will be 64%. And 111 divided by the total mass, sodium carbonate, sodium is 23 multiplied by 2, 46 plus carbon is 12 plus oxygen 16 times 3, that's 48. So that sodium carbonate is 106 plus 111, which is 217, and into 100, so 111 divided by 217 into 100, so 51% yield, 51% atom economy. That's why D is the right answer. Which of these has the most neutrons? So to get the neutron number, you will take a difference. So when you calculate the difference between atomic mass and atomic number, you will get the neutron number. And this example, the highest difference will come out for 10, which is 124 minus 50 equal to 74. For others, IN, it will be 66 neutron, 72 neutron, 72 neutron, and this is 74. That's why B is the right answer. A p block element in period 3 of a periodic table react to form ionic compound. So if it's a p block element, because group 1 and 2, these are S block, and group 3 onward they are p block element. So group 1, 2 and 3, they tend to lose their electron, but when they tend to lose their electron, they should lose all of their valence, because if it belongs to period 3 and group 1, then it will be 3s1. If it belongs to period 3 and group 2, and if it belongs to period 3 and group 3, then this should be the configuration. But when they form the ion, they should lose their electron, so there should be no complete 3s orbital. So it cannot be A, because if it was a metal, then, but if it was a non-metal tend to gain electrons, so it will complete the p shell. So that's why B is the right answer. It cannot be D block element, or it is a group period 3 they mentioned, but this shows a period 4. So B is the right answer. The period 2 element has a highest melting point. So what happened when group 1, 2, 3, the melting point increase, and then for group 4, the highest melting point is there. The reason for that, because they have a macromolecular structure, giant structure. That's why period, we have carbon in a period 2. Silicon is also having high, but that's not in period 2. Which of these has the greatest electrical conductivity? SF6 simple molecular does not conduct, water does not conduct, mercury metal is there in a molten state that will conduct, sodium oxide ionic compound in solid state does not conduct. It should be in a molten state to conduct. Which of these ions has the greatest ionic radius? So greatest ionic radius, when you check, Nitrogen, it's having 7 protons, and minus 3 means total 10 electrons. Fluorine is having 9 protons and 10 electrons. Sodium is having 11 protons and 10 electrons. And aluminum is having 13 protons and 10 electrons. So greatest, the one which is having the least attraction, so when we work out, because more electrons are there, less attraction, greater difference, that's why nitrogen is having the highest or greatest ionic radius. Which of these has the greatest polarizing power? Polarizing power is for positive ion, and for positive ion their size should be small as possible and the charge should be greater as possible to cause a distortion. So it cannot be A or B, you're left with C or D. But calcium is, as we move across the period, the size decreases and the charge density increases, so it will cause the greatest polarization to the negative ion or distortion to the negative ion. Which of these does not have a structure formed by a giant carbon atom? Fullerene, carbon 60, what it shows that fixed number of carbon. That's not a giant, it's a finite structure. Diamond form giant structure. Graphene form giant, as well as graphite also forms giant structure. Which of molecule is the most polar? When hydrogen bonded with the most electronegative element such as fluorine, the molecule will be the most polar, because hydrogen less electronegative, fluorine the most electronegative, it causes a more distortion to the ion, so that's why it tend to form hydrogen bonds. But other cases, hydrogen is bonded with oxygen, carbon and boron, relatively they have some electronegativity, so difference of electronegativity will be smaller. This is a symbol in the lab which is used for substance which is corrosive. IUPAC name, so if we count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So first branch is coming at 3, second branch is coming at 5, and other branch is coming at 6. But if we count from here 1, 2, 3, the second branch is coming at 4. So when we compare here, the second branch was coming at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but from this side it is coming at 4. So we'll follow this numbering. So third position, fourth position, and sixth position, we have the branches. So 3, 4, 6 trimethyl and 8 carbons are there, so that's why it is octane. Petrol, bioethanol and hydrogen are fuels. All three of these fuels burn to produce, because when we burn petrol, carbon dioxide is there, biodiesel, carbon dioxide, hydrogen. What it produces when we burn hydrogen, it produces water. And water, because bonds are polar, so water is also a greenhouse. Are overall carbon neutral? They are not all overall carbon neutral because petrol is there. Overall sustainable means no, not all of them are sustainable. Biodegradable rapidly, they are not biodegradable rapidly, they remain in the atmosphere. So A was the right answer for this. Cyclopentane undergo a free radical substitution. So free radical substitution, one bromine should add, and it's a cyclopentane and alkene have the same formula. So one bromine enter and one hydrogen will leave. So D is the right answer. Next, which statement is not correct? Only the initiation step in homolytic bond fission. In homolytic, because we have to work out which one is not the correct statement. So only the initiation step involved in homolytic. It can occur in homolytic, it can occur in heterolytic as well. So that's not the true statement. only some bromine is converted to free radical. That's not right. Most of the bromine is converted. That is the correct statement, sorry, because we have to find which is not correct. So A is not correct. This is a correct statement. Propagation form more product than termination. That's true. And further substitution are likely to occur. That is also true. So only the initiation step involves homolytic bond fission. It is not necessary. Initiation step can be a heterolytic bond fission as well. Free radical is at least likely to form a propagation step. Free radical is least likely to form in a propagation step. So how we can work out which free radical? Because hydrogen free radical is not produced in this way. Carbon and hydrogen bond does not break due to this ultraviolet light. Which alkane could be formed by termination in this reaction system? So you have a cyclic alkane. The termination step means when the free radical join together, when all these free radicals will join together and link with each other. So it's a cyclic compound. So the two cyclic compounds may link with each other. The original compound is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cyclopentane. So cyclopentane may join with cyclopentane as well, which can result in this termination step. Like one cyclopentane mixed with another cyclopentane. Which of these is not the way of limiting global problem caused by polymer disposal? Developing a biodegradable polymer, this is using it, and it is global problem is minimize exporting polymer waste. That's not the right way. Removing a toxic waste gases produced by incineration of the polymer, that's true. And reusing the product made from polymer, that's also true. So B is not the right statement which limited the global problem caused by this polymer disposal. So this was unit 1 of January 2021.